All right. All right. So have you ever felt like, you're just trying to decipher a whole new language? That's kind of how I feel even thinking about the world of business intelligence. You know what I mean?
It's true.
So today's deep dive, we are cracking the code of like BI job interviews.
Oh, nice.
And we've got this awesome YouTube video from How to Become to help us out.
I love this video. It's really cool how much it actually tells you about just BI in general.
Right.
While it's, ostensibly about prepping you for these interview questions, like a
True.
sneak peek behind the curtain of what these companies are even looking for.
Totally. Okay, so the video jumps right in with some like classic BI interview questions.
Uh-huh.
And the first one up is that real common one. What BI tools have you worked with? I mean, come on, everyone loves to talk about their favorite tools, right?
Yeah. And it's essential in this field. I mean, imagine a carpenter showing up to a
Yeah.
job and they're like, I don't know, what's a saw?
Right. Exactly.
BI is all about using tools to build insights from data.
Yeah,
So interviewers, they want to know you've got, the right gear.
for sure, for sure. And this video, it specifically calls out Power BI, Tableau, and ClickView. Those are some heavy hitters.
Those are the big ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, the industry standard, each one with
Yeah.
its own quirks and strengths and things.
Right.
But interviewers are going to want more than a list, right?
Okay.
They want to hear how you've used these tools
Yeah.
to actually solve real-world problems.
Right.
Like, how would you describe using data visualization, for example,
Okay.
to explain, a sales trend to
Yeah.
someone?
Right. That makes sense.
Even if you haven't used these exact programs, you want to be highlighting those transferable skills.
Totally. That's such a good point.
Yeah.
It's about like showcasing the thinking behind the tools, not just like, I know how to use this and that's it.
Right, exactly.
Okay, next up, the video dives into ETL, which, for anyone who's wondering, does not stand for Early Techno Love Fest, sadly.
Sadly not, no. It stands for extract, transform, load.
Okay.
And it's kind of the unsung hero of the BI world.
Okay.
It's all about getting your data prepped for analysis, and believe me, real-world data.
Oh, I bet.
It's messy.
Oh, tell me about it. I mean, my computer desktop is like a cautionary tale in data organization.
Right. So now imagine trying to, analyze thousands of those desktops. That's where ETL comes in.
Oh,
So first, it extracts the relevant data from all these different sources. Then it transforms that data, cleaning it up, standardizing all those different formats, and basically making sure it's consistent. And finally, it carefully loads that now squeaky clean data
oh, I love that.
into a data warehouse or a BI system.
Okay, so it's like taking a mountain of like mismatched puzzle pieces,
Right.
sorting them by like shape and color,
Yeah.
and then like finally getting to actually see that beautiful picture that they make.
Exactly. And the video emphasizes how important it is
Okay.
to be able to explain ETL in a really clear way,
Right.
even if if you're not like a hardcore data engineer.
Right.
They even mention specific tools,
Okay.
like SQL Server Integration Services, also known as SSIS,
Okay.
and Talend.
Wait, hold on. What exactly are those tools like doing during that ETL process? What makes them so special?
So think of like SSIS, for example.
Okay.
It's kind of like a highly specialized assembly line
Okay.
for your data.
Okay.
So it automates that whole extract, transform, load process. It pulls the data from all those different places, cleans it up, and then sends it on its way to, your data warehouse.
Gotcha.
And that's what keeps your BI system running,
Oh.
nice and smoothly
Oh.
without you having to manually scrub each piece of data yourself.
So it's kind of like the difference between like hand washing 1,000 dishes versus having like a super efficient dishwasher.
There you go.
That
Yeah.
makes so much more sense.
Okay. And mentioning those tools shows those interviewers
Okay.
that you understand the engine that really makes BI go vroom.
I like that.
It's about, demonstrating that practical real-world knowledge.
Yeah. Got it. So it's not enough to just like know what ETL is. You got to show that you understand the how.
Exactly.
All right. Moving on. So this video gets like real serious about data accuracy.
Yeah.
And they make it really clear that like inaccurate data, that's basically kryptonite to the whole business intelligence process.
That's true, and with good reason. You know, even what seems like a really small error
Right.
can snowball into this massive
Oh,
problem.
wow.
Imagine like a clothing retailer and
Yes.
their BI system is full of,
Oh,
typos
no.
in their customer names.
Right.
They might think they're attracting all these new customers every month
Uh-huh.
when really it's the same loyal shoppers
Oh,
being, misidentified because of a data entry error.
wow.
And that means their entire marketing strategy could be off
Right.
just because of bad data.
Wow, that's a great example.
Yeah.
So how do you make sure then that the data is like accurate and reliable in the first place?
Yeah.
The video seems to like really emphasize being proactive, not just like reacting after the fact.
Absolutely. Yeah, they talk about building a system
Right.
for ensuring that data quality throughout
Okay.
the whole process.
Gotcha.
So that includes like validating the data when it first comes in,
Okay.
running tests,
Right.
even collaborating with, all those different teams that might be feeding data into that BI system.
Makes sense.
It's about, catching those typos before they turn into marketing mishaps.
Right. It's like they always say garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah.
Totally. Speaking of garbage, this video, it really gets into those like behavioral interview questions. The ones, describe a time you used BI to impact a business decision. Those always make me kind of nervous. Got any tips?
Oh, yeah, they can be tricky,
Yeah.
but they're your chance to really like shine. Think of it like telling a mini success story,
Okay.
but with the data at the heart of it.
Okay.
And the video recommends using the STAR method,
Right.
which is situation, task, action, result,
Yeah.
and reflection.
Setting the scene, like what you were tasked with, what you actually did,
Yeah.
and then like what was the outcome? Okay, I got it. I often forget about that last R, that reflection piece. Why is that like super important for BI related answers?
Well, because it shows that,
Yeah.
you're not just a data robot, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can analyze those experiences, you can learn from them.
Okay.
So let's say, for example, you were tasked with figuring out why a certain product line was not performing well.
Okay. Yeah.
You describe that situation, your task, the actions you took to really analyze the data. Maybe you uncovered like a really surprising geographic trend or something.
Oh, interesting.
The positive result sales went up because you were able to share those insights and
Oh.
what you learned from that whole experience. Like maybe, how important it is
Right.
to segment data in new ways.
Okay, so it's kind of like saying, hey, I can not only use this data to like actually solve problems, but I can also like reflect, I can adapt my approach
Yes,
based on what the data is telling me.
exactly.
Okay, cool.
And that brings us to another really critical concept,
Okay.
and that's data warehousing.
Okay, data warehousing. Got it.
The video touches on this as well.
Okay, so we've got the data, we've cleaned it, we've prepped it.
Yeah.
Now we need like a place to put it all, right? Is that where the data warehouse comes in?
Yes. Think of it like, imagine like a giant library, but instead of books,
Yeah.
it's filled with carefully organized data from every corner of the company.
Okay.
That's your data warehouse.
Okay.
It's really the bedrock of a strong BI system
Okay.
instead of having data scattered all over the place,
Right. Like a million different spreadsheets.
Across spreadsheets, across departments, it's all there in one place, ready to be analyzed.
So instead of hunting for clues, like across a million different files, it's like having like all the evidence like laid out neatly on a detective's board, ready to be like, connected and analyzed.
I love that analogy. That's great.
Right.
And having all that data, organized and really available like that,
Okay.
it makes it so much easier for those BI tools
Right.
to do their thing, to extract those meaningful insights.
Right. Makes sense. So we're talking like spotting trends, identifying new opportunities, making those data-driven decisions. Okay. This actually makes me think back to those tools that the video mentioned, the OLAP and OLTP.
Right.
I remember feeling a little lost with those acronyms.
Yeah, they can be a little confusing. So think about a company like Amazon, for example.
Okay. Yeah, everyone knows Amazon.
When you click buy on, that new book you've been wanting,
Yeah.
that's OLTP in action. That's online transaction processing.
Okay.
It's the system that's handling all of those real-time transactions.
Gotcha.
Like processing those orders, updating inventory.
So OLTP is like the heart of the operation,
Yeah.
keeping everything pumping.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, what about OLAP then?
So OLP is more like Amazon's brain analyzing your purchase history and, millions of other people's
Right.
to recommend other books that you might like.
Oh, right, right.
OLAP, online analytical processing, it's designed for like really diving deep into those massive data sets, uncovering those hidden patterns, answering those really big picture business questions.
So OLTP keeps the business like running, while OLAP helps it like grow and improve.
You got it.
Okay, that's a good way to remember it.
Yeah, understanding that difference is really key in the BI world.
Okay.
You need to know where your data is coming from
Right.
and the right tools to analyze it.
Right, right. It's all about having those like the right tools for the right job.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. And speaking of tools, the video, it also really emphasizes how important it is to know how to like communicate those data insights effectively.
Yes.
And especially to stakeholders who might not be data experts themselves.
Right.
Which is probably most people.
Right. Yeah.
It's like that old saying, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Right.
But like in this case, it's not just about the data, it's how you communicate those insights.
Exactly. You got to be able to bridge that gap
Yeah.
between, that world of data and that world of decision making.
Right.
Imagine trying to present like
Right.
complex sales projections, but you're only using like spreadsheets
Oh yeah.
and a bunch of jargon.
Yeah, people's eyes are going to glaze over for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you can weave a story, right,
Yeah.
use data visualizations
Yeah.
and clear language, then you can really engage those people and
No.
empower them to actually take action.
Totally. So it's about being like a data storyteller.
Yes.
Sign me up for that workshop.
I know, right?
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
But that storytelling ability, I mean, that can take you far.
Yeah.
Even outside of like a strictly BI focused career. Think about like marketing teams
Right.
trying to understand customer behavior,
Totally.
or product developers trying to, analyze all that user feedback.
That's so true. Data is everywhere.
It's everywhere.
This video has really like opened my eyes to how valuable these BI skills really are.
Yeah.
Like in all sorts of different fields.
Mhm.
It's about so much more than just like crunching numbers
Right.
in a basement somewhere.
Exactly.
Which I kind of thought it was, to be honest.
It's a common misconception.
Okay, that's good to know.
And speaking of valuable insights,
Yeah.
this video actually throws in this like bonus tip.
Okay.
It suggests actually asking thoughtful questions
Right.
at the end of a BI interview.
Oh, I love that. That's such a good idea. It's a chance to show that you're genuinely curious, that you're thinking beyond just like,
Right.
getting the job offer.
Exactly.
What kind of questions like do they suggest?
Well, they really emphasize those questions that show that you're thinking about that, like the bigger picture of
Mhm.
BI, within the company.
Okay.
So, for example, you could ask about, their data infrastructure.
Okay.
Maybe their approach to data governance, or even how different departments use data to collaborate.
Those are great. It's like it shows that you're not just there for a paycheck. You're interested in like, how can I contribute
Yeah.
to this data-driven culture?
Exactly. It's about demonstrating that you're eager to learn, to grow, be part of a team
Right.
that values all of this.
Totally. Totally. And you never know. Their answers might even give you some valuable insights
true.
into whether that company's like the right fit for you.
Right.
It's a two-way street.
It is.
So even if you're not like currently on the hunt for a BI job, I mean, those questions could like spark some interesting conversations about data like in your own workplace.
Totally.
It's always good to be thinking about how to use data more effectively.
Absolutely. It's kind of amazing how much we were able to unpack
I know.
from just this one interview prep video.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's like this video was a Trojan horse for BI knowledge. Like we covered essential tools, like the make or break importance of data accuracy, those tricky behavioral questions, and even like the art of communicating those data insights to a non-technical audience.
It all circles back to
Yeah.
the power of data, right?
Yeah.
And its potential to really transform businesses, industries,
Yeah.
even our own, personal decision making.
Well said, well said. And on that note, dear listener, we will leave you with this final thought. What data points are you encountering every single day?
Right.
What hidden insights are just waiting to be revealed in your world?
It's all out there.
Think about how those insights big or small, could lead to better decisions, new opportunities,
Hmm.
and just like a deeper understanding of the world around you. Keep asking questions, stay curious,
Yes.
and never underestimate the power of a good old-fashioned deep dive.